Success is not the child of talent alone. Too many people are sitting on their gifts like buried treasure, waiting for someone to come along and dig them up. They think talent is the guarantee, talent is the passport, talent is the key that opens every door. But talent without discipline will decay. Talent without commitment will wither. Talent without perseverance will leave you standing at the threshold of greatness, staring at the locked door, wondering why it never opened. You can have talent and still fail, because talent by itself is never enough. You can sing like the heavens, preach like fire, write with genius, paint with brilliance, but if you don't have consistency, if you don't have endurance, if you don't have the willingness to work while others sleep, your talent will sit on the shelf and gather dust. Success does not bow down to talent. Success bows down to sacrifice. You see, the world is full of people with talent who never made it. Cemeteries are filled with songs that were never sung, businesses that were never started, books that were never written because somebody thought talent was enough. But let me tell you, talent might get you noticed, but character will keep you there. Skill might open the door, but integrity and persistence will keep you in the room. Talent is just the seed, but the harvest belongs to those who water it daily with sweat, pain, and resilience. The truth is, success requires more than talent. It demands fight. It demands that you keep showing up even when nobody claps for you. It demands that you study when no one is watching, practice when no one cares, and believe when no one else does. It demands that you push through failures, endure rejection, and rise up from disappointment. Success will not hand itself over to you simply because you're gifted. Success gives itself to those who refuse to quit. Talent can set the stage, but it cannot perform the journey. Effort, focus, and persistence will outlast raw ability every single time. That is why people who may not be the most talented often rise higher than those with extraordinary gifts. Because they worked, they endured. They stayed faithful to the process when others got distracted. The question is not how much talent you have. The question is how much of yourself you're willing to give. Talent is a beautiful thing. It is a divine deposit that rests inside of you. But the mistake too many people make is assuming that talent alone will crown them with success. People sit on their gifts and believe that because they can sing, because they can write, because they can lead, because they can create, doors will simply swing open on their own. But talent without effort is like a seed left in the ground without water. It has potential but no harvest. It has possibility but no manifestation. The world is filled with people who had talent yet never touched destiny because they never understood that talent must be trained, talent must be stretched, talent must be refined, and talent must be disciplined. When you look around, you will find men and women who had just an ounce of talent, but they poured consistency, they poured determination, they poured focus into that little ounce until it became more powerful than those who had gallons of natural gifting. That's because talent will get you in the room, but endurance is what will keep you in the room. You cannot live off talent alone, because sooner or later talent will meet resistance. Sooner or later talent will hit a wall. Sooner or later talent will face a moment when it is not enough to charm. It is not enough to impress. It is not enough to spark applause. At that moment, it is character, it is perseverance. It is the ability to grind when you're tired, to rise when you're weary, to keep pressing when you feel overlooked that determines whether you rise or whether you collapse. Success is not the crown of the gifted, it is the crown of the diligent. There are people who may not speak as well as you, who may not shine as bright as you, who may not be as naturally skilled as you, but they will surpass you if you refuse to invest in the process. Because the truth is, success is never just about talent. It is about how much you are willing to pay, how much you are willing to sacrifice, how much you are willing to endure. It is about the mornings when you rise before the sun, the nights when you push past exhaustion, the hours when you fight through rejection, The days when you are ignored but still show up with the same passion as if the whole world were watching. So don't confuse talent with success. Talent is just the invitation, success is the reward. Talent is the foundation, success is the skyscraper. Talent is the raw material, success is the finished product. And the difference between the two is work, consistency, and resilience. That's why so many dreams die in the graveyard of wasted potential, because people thought talent would carry them all the way without understanding that talent must be married to discipline and endurance before it ever produces greatness. Some people believe that the amount of talent they carry will automatically determine the level of success they achieve. But that belief is one of the greatest lies ever told. Talent is not the deciding factor. It is only the starting point. Talent is the spark, but success is the fire, and a spark left unattended will die in the wind. You can have extraordinary ability, but if you lack the will to sharpen it, strengthen it, and sustain it, then talent becomes wasted potential. Success is not reserved for the most gifted. It is reserved for the most committed. It belongs to the ones who are willing to keep showing up, keep working, keep sacrificing when the crowd is gone and the applause has faded. There are countless stories of men and women who were overlooked, underestimated, and undervalued because they didn't appear to have much talent compared to others. Yet they rose to heights no one thought possible. They weren't the fastest, they weren't the smartest, they weren't the most skilled, but they were the most faithful to their process. They kept practicing when nobody was watching. They kept building when nobody believed. They kept pushing when everyone else gave up. And because of their consistency, they overtook those who seemed more talented but lacked the endurance to finish. Success is not about how much talent you have. It's about how much hunger you carry. Hunger will take you where talent alone cannot. Talent may open a door, but only discipline will keep it open. Talent may introduce you to opportunity, but only preparation will allow you to seize it. Talent may make people clap for you, but only integrity will keep them respecting you. The world doesn't just reward talent. It rewards persistence. It rewards sacrifice. It rewards resilience. You cannot lean back and expect talent to carry you through storms. Storms will come, and in those storms, talent will not be enough. It will be the strength of your character, the depth of your focus, and the fire of your determination that keeps you standing when others fall. What separates successful people from unsuccessful ones is not the amount of talent they had at the beginning. It is how they managed it, how they protected it, how they multiplied it. Some people with little talent create enormous success because they refused to bury their gift in excuses. Others with great talent create nothing because they sat waiting for the world to notice. Success requires you to stop waiting and start working. It requires you to believe in your gift enough to invest in it. It requires you to take the talent you have, whether small or great, and maximize it through relentless effort. Because success will never ask you how much talent you had. Success will ask you how much you did with what you were given. Talent is often celebrated as the golden ticket to success, but the reality is far different from what people imagine. Talent is an entry point, not a guarantee. You can be the most gifted in the room and still remain unseen if you refuse to develop what has been placed in your hands. Talent must be trained, it must be pushed, it must be stretched beyond comfort if it is ever going to yield real results. The stage of success does not honor those who simply possess talent. It honors those who are willing to discipline their talent, to put structure around their ability, to pour hours of unseen labor into what looks effortless to the outside world. Many people lose opportunities not because they lacked talent, but because they lacked endurance. They started strong, but they quit when it got hard. They had promise, but they refused to persist when doors didn't open fast enough. What they failed to realize is that talent may give you momentum, but it is perseverance that gives you longevity. The race of life is not a sprint where the fastest always wins. It is a marathon where the consistent prevail. There are countless individuals who began with greater ability, but their unwillingness to endure left them behind, while others, less talented but more determined, surpassed them. Talent is the seed, but success is the harvest, and in between the two lies the work of cultivation. You cannot expect results if you will not till the soil of your own life. You cannot expect greatness if you are unwilling to pay the price of growth. Every gift requires stewardship. Every ability requires sharpening. Every calling requires sacrifice. Without it, talent lies dormant, and dormant talent is nothing more than wasted potential. This is why it is dangerous to worship talent. If you bow to talent, you will overestimate its power and underestimate your responsibility. You will wait for things to happen instead of making things happen. You will assume your gift will carry you where your character has never been tested. Success does not surrender itself to talent alone. It surrenders to discipline, to resilience, to those who dare to keep going when the journey is long and the night is dark. It is not how much talent you have that defines your destiny. It is how deeply you are willing to pour yourself into the gift you've been given, and how relentlessly you pursue the vision set before you.